Hello and good morning. Today we are going to start a new vlog. In this vlog, we're going to read of like my most anticipated summer reads. Most of them came out in early May, end of April, but it's these three. It's One Golden Summer by Carley Fortune. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Big Beautiful Life, but by Emily Henry. I've been waiting, obviously, since I just got back from my trip. I was waiting for that, but then I also was waiting for it to be a little bit deeper into summer to read these because these are all summer books. So today is Monday. I'm going to try and read these three books like this whole week until Sunday. So yeah, and I'll take you along with me. I'm very excited to read these. I predict at least one of these is going to be a 5-star. It has to be. But I will start with Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Everyone's calling it the Great BBL. And whenever I see this book, I just sing BBL Jersey. So, okay, so I wanted to come on and share where I'm at so far in Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I was able to make it to chapter 15, which is page 157. And I'm really enjoying this book so far. This book follows our main character, Hayden. He is a Pulitzer Prize winner writer, and basically he's just like a all-around golden boy. He's just, perfect according to our other main character. So she is a writer as well, but her life is a little bit more messy. They are both currently in Little Crescent Island. Both of them. It's a little island in Georgia. It is pretty much summertime. And they are both in competition to write the story or the life story of Margaret Ives. She is a socialite and kind of like a muse, and no one's really seen her in the last 20 years. She's a recluse now. This character kind of made me think of like Paris Hilton maybe, but yeah, she was a tabloid princess, and she always had her name in the paper with scandals and marriage and this and that. So it's also kind of giving, I've heard this said before though, but it's also kind of giving The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I agree with that. I think this does feel a lot like that story, except that two people are vying for the spot to write that novel, I guess. And only one person writes the other one. So this story is told basically from 3 different perspectives. It's told from Hayden's perspective, Alice's perspective, and then from Margaret's perspective. But Hayden and Alice, their perspective takes place in this timeline now, and then Margaret is popping in and out of it. But when they're sitting down to do the interviews with her, she's obviously reminiscing and going back in time and talking about what happened then. So it's an interesting way to tell the story. I'm really enjoying it. Right now, there's like not really any romance happening. Not really. I mean, there's like, I think there might have been one kiss, but this is not a romance-centered book, which is, I think, the problem that some people are having with this book. I mean, people like this book, but they are just confused because usually Emily Henry leads more with romance and like a slow burn. And like I said, I'm only 150 something pages into it, but I have heard that this isn't really heavy on the romance, and that's okay. I think authors are allowed to switch it up and change gears, grow and change and whatever. What I love about her writing is it feels so realistic. It feels like Alice could be a friend of mine, and she's out like trying to get this job, this really, really amazing job, writing a memoir for somebody, or I guess a biography for someone. But it feels like it could be real. Like I don't know. That's why I think Emily Henry's writing hits so hard, is because it just feels so tangible. It feels like someone's actual life. And I know like books, duh, are supposed to kind of do that, but like if you think about really good books, it's not, you're not just going along with the story, you're like all the way in the story. And that's why I think she's so popular, and why her books are always such like heavy hitters, and people are like obsessed with her writing, is because it feels like you are in the story with them, that you are actually like experiencing this alongside them. It's feeling like a 4, a little bit above 4, we'll see, but I probably have about 2/3 left. So yeah, I probably read 1/3. So I will give you another update probably tomorrow sometime. Hopefully I'll be kind of close to finishing this, but we will see. Good morning. It is the next day, and I wanted to share an update on where I am in Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I made it to chapter 23, page 252. I think the last time I spoke to you, I was on chapter 15. So this is still giving me everything I want. I'm really, really liking this book a lot. I'm really enjoying it. I think part of the reason why I'm enjoying it so much is because of how much I loved The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That's one of my favorite books of all time, and this is reading a lot like that. I feel like Mick Riva is Cosmo Sinclair. Like they're like the same vibes kind of. And then like I said, Margaret Ives is Evelyn Hugo. They are kind of deviating from the Margaret Ives storyline a little bit, and they are now focusing a little bit more on the lives of Hayden and Alice. They are starting to kind of have feelings for each other, but they're confused as to how that's going to work out, considering they're both competing for the same job. Interview style is really cool because it gives you like 2 different perspectives, from like the tabloid's perspective and then from like what really happened from Margaret's perspective, which is really, really awesome. I have just finished going to Alice's house. She decides to visit her mom at her childhood home, and she hasn't been there, I think, in a couple years. And this isn't a spoiler, but her dad did die a couple years ago. It has almost nothing to do with the story. So, but her dad did die a couple years ago. So I think she's just going to see her mom, and she decides to invite Hayden, and her mom and her have kind of a difficult relationship. So we're kind of getting some of the backstory there too. When Alice and Hayden get there, their relationship is kind of tested in a way. That's what's going on so far, and I, like I said, am really, really enjoying it. I'm halfway through this book. I'm going to try and finish this book today. I wanted to share where I was in this book, Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I am on chapter 18, page 142. I was able to get through a lot of that last night, actually, which is crazy. I would say almost halfway through. I'm having kind of the same problem that other people are having with this book. It feels very insta-lovey to me, and I do really love a slow burn. So this follows our 2 main characters, Samantha and Xavier. This is dual POV. They are randomly thrown together after Samantha finds a kitten that needs help. I'll let you figure out why the kitten needs help. But a kitten that needs help, and he is a vet, and he is the one who assists her in helping the kitten. She then decides that she likes him, he likes her, so they go on a date. The date is pretty interesting, somewhat disastrous, but it just affirms that they both really like each other on this date, which, okay, you know, that makes sense. The problem is the date is only like 12 hours long, and then she has to move back to take care of her mom. And he is left there in Minneapolis just, you know, being a vet and like hanging out, but he like really likes her. Okay, that's also fine. I mean, it was only 12 hours. It was a 12-hour day. Like, it feels a little like, you know, I don't know. But it's quick. It's an easy read, obviously. Like I said, I'm almost halfway through it already. Yeah, we have gotten some more backstory on both of them, on Xavier and Samantha. Xavier's life and childhood was very tumultuous, and he is struggling to, you know, deal with that. And then Samantha, she has a really interesting home life as well. Samantha's mom is actually that mother we saw in Just for the Summer where she was like walking around aimlessly. So her mom actually has Alzheimer's, and the whole family is trying to deal with that. And that's why Samantha moves back home. So I feel like some of the parent issues are slightly unnecessary. I mean, it's not like people don't deal with bad parents, or people don't deal with parents that have like, you know, diseases or you know, disorders, you know, what have you. But it just feels like it was kind of thrown in here. Like, it doesn't feel authentic. It just doesn't, it's not giving authentic. So to me, so yeah, I don't know. This is not my favorite of her books so far. This is probably gonna end up being like maybe a 3-star, I think. Last year's book was so good. Just for the Summer was so good. It felt so real. It felt so like tangible. Like, I don't know. It just felt so real. And this one is just, I don't know, like maybe she had to get it out in a certain time. I don't know, but it's just not feeling that same, not feeling that depth like I was with the other book. So I'll let you know how it goes, and I will chat with you a little bit later. All right, so it is a couple days later. I was able to finish this book. This one, she's here again. I was able to finish this book, Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I will give you a full review at the end of this vlog. I have one more book left to read, which is this one here, Our Golden Summer by Carley Fortune. I actually have liked all of Carley Fortune's books except for Meet Me at the Lake. Wasn't my favorite. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't my favorite. It was the least favorite of mine out of all the books. So I was able to actually start this morning. Well, yeah, this morning, kind of late afternoon. It's about 3 o'clock now. I was able to get to chapter 9, which is 59 pages in. So a little dent, a little one. I am alone tonight. My husband is working all the way until like 10 o'clock tonight. So I think I'm going to be spending more time reading this tonight because like I said, I don't have any like distractions or anything. So I will try to make a little bit more of a dent in this. I'm glad I'm reading this because it didn't just come out. It came out, I think, beginning of May. But I'm glad I'm reading this because I do have a good time with her books. Minus Meet Me at the Lake. And like I said, that wasn't even that bad. I just didn't love the trope on that one. This I'm really, really excited for. This, well, I guess I can tell you what this is about. Okay, so this book follows our main character, Alice. She is a photographer. She is going to spend the summer, I think she lives in like Canada, I think Ontario. She's going to spend the summer with her grandmother. She just calls her Nan. So she's going to spend the summer with Nan, and like at a beach house or whatever. I think it's like an old family beach house or something. And that's basically where I'm at right now. So they just got to the cottage. Nothing really has happened. She's a photographer. She is 32 years old. She's kind of coming out of a little bit of a nasty breakup, and she just wants to vacate her life for a little while and spend some of the last moments that she has with her grandmother. Her grandmother is obviously like kind of failing in health, not like terribly, but you know, she knows her grandma's only going to live so long. So she's trying to prioritize spending time with her this summer, which is great. And 2 full months, and I'm excited to see what happens. And I know she's going to meet somebody. Apparently she meets a guy named Charlie Florek, who I think is from her past. So I'm interested to see where this goes. Oh, and the place that she's staying in the area is called Barry's Bay. And it's a place that her grandmother used to stay when she was younger. So that's the connection. And I think her grandmother had a great summers there and wants to show Alice the same kind of good time. So yeah, I'm excited about this one. Honestly, I didn't pick up the camera for like 2 days after I finished this one. So I was actually, able to finish this the night that I filmed the last check-in. I think like a couple hours after I checked in with you guys. I will give you a review, but this was not my favorite at all. It wasn't. And so the last 2 days I've just been reading like for fun, because this one was not my favorite. So that's why I didn't pick up the camera, because I had not started this one, because I wanted to read books that I knew I was going to enjoy after that. So to share where I was in One Golden Summer by Carley Fortune. I'm on chapter 28, page 188. I would say I'm about halfway through the book, and not a lot has happened. I mean, it's kind of the same thing that was happening before. She's at the summer for 2 months with her grandmother. She's trying to help her grandmother because a little bit more information about the grandma is dealing with some memory issues. Alice really wants to be there with her grandma because her grandma was so important to her. So that's why she has chosen to go back to this lake, Barry's Bay. So, and Alice and her grandmother Nan went when she was younger. And when she was there, when she was younger, she did actually meet Charlie. So she's like kind of re-meeting him, but it was only for 1 summer. She is still very much in a space where she's not ready for anything. So I will read probably for the next 2 hours, see how far I get, and then I will hopefully finish this book tomorrow morning. I was able to finish all 3 books, and I wanted to give you my review. I'm gonna start with the first book that I read, which was Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This book was a 5-star for me. I loved this book. I really liked Margaret Ives' storyline. She's the one that they're interviewing. I just thought it was interesting seeing her backstory and like what happened in her life. I would really recommend this, especially if you like Evelyn Hugo, especially if you like the interview style type of book. I would say yes to this. This was 5 stars. This was incredible for me, and I think it might work for you. Okay, so the next book was Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. This is probably like the 3rd or 4th book I've read. I have read the first book in Part of Your World series, but not the other 2, but I've read every other book that she's written. So I think I've read 4 books now, I think. This one was probably, out of the ones I've read, my least favorite. I am gonna go ahead and give this, sorry, if you like this book, you know, I'm glad you did. I didn't love this. I'm probably gonna give this a 2.5. This was very mid to me. The relationship was not believable in my opinion. The characters, I didn't really care about the characters, to be quite honest with you. There was not really a lot of growth. It seemed very, honestly, it kind of was giving toxic vibes, especially like how hard they were working to make this relationship work after only knowing each other for like 12 hours. It just, like, if she would have added something in, like maybe they had known each other before, I think it would have made it more believable. It seemed like this was also kind of rushed. This one wasn't for me. You know, I read this and I knew people were saying like, it's not great, but I also was like, I want to figure it out for myself. And I feel like maybe if you want to do that too, you should, you can and you should, but it was not for me. So yeah, I finished it this morning after I talked to you, is Only for the Summer by Carley Fortune. My favorite is the one that came before this, which is, oh goodness, what is the name of this one? The one where she is in PEI. This summer will be different. Yeah, so that one is probably my favorite, but this one was probably a close second. I loved this book. I probably would give it a 4.5 stars. It was actually going to be like between a 3 and a 4, and then like the last, I don't know, 50 pages, it bumped it up to like a 4.5. This was so good. The character growth was really good. I really liked their relationship. This relationship was believable. You can write believable relationships. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, no, this relationship was believable. This was, like I said, kind of a second chance romance, kind of. This was, like I said, a young girl younger, she's 32 turning 33. She's spending the summer with her grandma, as you know. And the male character, you don't really understand him that much. You don't understand his motivations, but things start to come to light and you're like, oh, that makes sense. So I really, really liked this. I will probably reread this. This was very, very good. Like I said, 4.5 stars. If you were to read anyone from this video, I would probably say this one and this one, but probably this one first and then this one. But these were like neck and neck. I mean, they were both good. This one, like I said, it just felt realistic. It felt, same thing with Great Big Beautiful Life. BBL, Jesse. BBL. But yeah, so I really had fun with these. Sometimes you get misses, and that's okay. So I will probably be donating this one to my little library and then keeping these two. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that vlog. It was very fun for me to film. I really, really liked reading these because, like I said, these were some of my most anticipated summer reads. I do have another one that I'm going to be filming because I have so many more anticipated summer reads. So hopefully I can get them all uploaded by the time summer's over. You never know. If you liked this video and you like my content, please consider subscribing. Please consider liking, commenting, and sharing. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.